It's November 4th. I'm David Viscott. We have a new president, and hopefully we have a new start. I hope you're feeling cheerful and up this morning. I know I am. Welcome. It's getting to be kind of a good habit, huh? David Viscott. I'm here with my producer, Dottie Archibald, and we're here to help answer your calls and maybe bring a little relief. Some of the best relief is knowing that you're not alone in whatever it is you're suffering.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We have so many good calls, I'd like to just jump right into them.
Jump.
We have Oscar on line 16. He's in love with a married man.
Oscar?
Yes.
Good morning, Oscar.
Good morning.
How old are you, Oscar?
47.
What is that accent?
I don't know.
You don't know what your accent is?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I do. The Spanish.
Spanish.
Uh-huh.
Okay, why are you calling?
Well, I'm in love with this man. I met him about 2 years ago, and he's married about a year and a half ago. And I don't know, he's just abused me.
How has he abused you?
About money.
What are you talking about?
Well, he asked me for many things. I bought him a car that I still pay. Sometimes I help him pay the rent of his apartment.
And he's living with his wife?
Yes, he's living with his wife.
And what do you get in return for all this?
Almost nothing. Probably a little love every other month.
Oscar?
Yes.
Obviously you're a millionaire, right, and can afford all this, right?
I just, all I had was $20,000 that I put it on zero. I spent all my $20,000 on him.
Oscar, why'd you do that?
I don't know. I've been like this all my life. This is not the first man I love.
Yeah, but he didn't love you. No one who loved you would treat you like this.
I don't know.
Wait, you do know. No one who loved you would treat you like this.
One time
No one you love who loved you would treat you like this. Can I get you to agree?
I do, but I just don't want to admit it.
Well, then that's where we're stuck, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about where we're stuck, because everything else doesn't matter. Is someone, I mean, is the man having sex with you?
I'm sorry?
Does the man have sex with you?
Very rare occasions.
And you do
The
everything?
last time was about 4 months ago.
Okay, and how many times have you been with the guy?
I see him almost every day, except the last 2 weeks. He talked to me and he says that this has to stop.
Okay, so stop payment on everything.
I wanted to do it, but I don't have the courage to do it. I don't have the...
You don't have the courage, you just don't sign the check. That's the courage. It's the courage not to write down your name on the bottom of a line.
Yeah.
Just stop. Let him pick up. He wants it to
But I'm
stop.
afraid that if I do that, I'm going to make him mad.
But what difference in his behavior if he's mad at you or not? He obviously can't stand the sight of you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oscar, the man does not love you. The man never loved you. The man is just using you.
He says that he loves me as a dad.
Right. Come on, Oscar.
One time I
Oscar.
Yes.
Oscar.
Yes.
Come on, the man does not love you. Would you treat someone you love the way he treats you?
No.
Why not?
I don't know.
No, why not? Come on, put yourself in the other man's position.
Well, it's not deserved.
That's right. So why would you treat someone in a way that they didn't deserve?
I love him.
No, I'm talking about him. Why would he treat you in a way you don't deserve? Go there, come on.
I think I asked him for...
Wait a second. Oscar, you're not staying with me. Why would he treat you in a way you don't deserve to be treated?
Because he don't love me.
He doesn't care about you. Forget love. He doesn't care about you as a person. He's not even nice to you.
But about 6 months ago, I told him that I'm going to kill myself.
Don't kill yourself. Just stop writing checks.
And then,
Oscar,
yes,
he's not going to support you. The only in any way, Oscar, he's bad for you. Oscar, he's not good for you. And the worst person in your life for you is you. Oscar,
yeah,
you know what you ought to do?
yeah.
You ought to find out why you're so addicted to people. Have you ever considered going to one of those addiction groups for people who are love addicted?
I have my psychiatric right now, and
Have you ever
no,
thought...
I thought of many times. And
Why? Listen, Oscar, you're hard to get through to. Do you know that? Because you're blinded by love, the worst disease there is.
Yeah,
Why don't you find out, and what you do is call... we're going to give you... You stay on. We'll get you the name for a love addiction group. Go
Okay.
down there, in addition to your psychiatrist, because you need to go down there. You'll find other people just like you, and you'll feel better. That's the next step. But this man doesn't love you. Just don't write another check. Stay with us. We're going to give you an addiction group to go to. Please. People get used. You see, everybody has a blind spot. And anyone who's unscrupulous, who you love, sees your blind spot. And if they don't love you, they use your blind spot to twist you any way you want.
He sounded like such a sweet man, too. I felt really bad
Yeah,
for
but
him.
it's to telling the guy 6 months ago that he thought he was going to kill himself, which is a test to see the other guy's reaction. And the other guy says, oh, no, don't do that because you're paying my car, you're paying my house rent. And he took it to mean, no, there's still hope. And that's, see, when a weak person tries to control someone that they're in love with, they'll buy them anything. And they'll totally misinterpret their reaction. Who's next?
We have Lori. Her mother-in-law is fascinated by the baby's genitals. She's on line 15. She's concerned about that.
Laura?
Yes,
How old are you, Laura?
I'm 26.
Tell me what's going on in your household.
It's not in my household, but it started out, my baby's 3 months old, and I'm a first-time mother. And it started out a couple months ago where my mother-in-law kept asking if she could give my baby a bath. She has 5 other male grandchildren, and she babysits them every single day. And she's never babysat my child because I stay home now. But she's always asking him if she can give him a bath, and she speaks Spanish. So I have one of her other daughters interpret for me, or my husband. And I asked my husband why she wanted to give him a bath, and she said he told me because she likes to look at his little body, his naked body. And then,
Is she married?
she's married, yes.
Go ahead.
And so I never allowed it to happen. I just kind of, brushed it off. And last Tuesday, I was over to their house, and I was changing my baby's diaper on her couch. And she walked over while I was changing him. She kneeled down on the floor and bent over him. Before I got his new diaper on him, she started playing with him. And she took her hand and she cupped it over his genitals. And she started wiggling it back and forth, playing with him. And that's what I thought. I thought it was strange. I'm like, what is she doing? And then she bent down and kissed him right next to his genitals, below the diaper area. And I just put the diaper back on him, and thought it was strange.
Thought?
Yes. And then right after that, she asked her daughter to ask me if me and my husband were going out for Halloween this Saturday, because I think she wanted to babysit the baby. She keeps looking for opportunities to offer babysitting, which I don't find unusual because she babysits all
No,
her
but
brothers.
right after that, the stimulus seems to have been seeing
Right.
your son's genitals.
Right.
And what did your husband think of all this?
It bothered me when I saw it happen, and I just...
What did your husband think?
I told him on Friday, and he didn't think anything of it. He said, I told him what she did, and he gave me an example. He goes, did she do this? And I said, yes. And he said, well, so what? She does that to all the little babies.
Your husband doesn't recognize that that's called fondling.
I told him that. I said, it's just like, kids grow up and say that they were sexually molested and sexually abused by relatives. I said,
And
this
that's what
could
they
be the start of it.
and that's what they do.
Yeah. He
No,
said,
as a matter of fact, that's all you need to do. because, well, the child is violated. Your husband needs to be brought into reality first. This is how I would go about it. Bring your husband into reality. Tell him you spoke to me. Tell him I said it constitutes fondling. Okay? And tell him your mother cannot be with the child unless supervised.
Right.
And no matter what she does with the other children, it doesn't make it right. It just means that the other children have been fondled as well. And he's going to say, well, this is the way it is in our family. And you say, well, it's going to stop because it's not going to be this way in this family. And if you want to draw the lines for where we'll split, here are the lines. But you need to be tough about it, and you need to stand up for what you believe. This is wrong, and there's no other discussion on the matter, period.
Very interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's, well, you know what's the most interesting thing about it is that there are a lot of people who can rationalize any kind of abuse whatsoever because, well, we've done it for years.
Yeah.
We always...
we had a call yesterday like that, where it was had gone through generations. It's very hard.
We always beat the kids. I remember a friend of mine who had just been married, and he had a baby, and his kid was screaming, and he met his mother-in-law for the first time, and she says, "Oh, let them cry. It's good for their lungs." Go ahead.
We have Jean on line 9. Her dog has died, and she's really having a hard time with it.
Jean.
Hello.
Hi, Jean.
Hi.
More energy in the voice than I expected to hear.
Oh, well, I'm always afraid I won't be able to hear you. Yeah, my dog died July 14th of this year.
What do you mean always afraid you are?
Well, I mean, not always. I've watched your show, and I hear how you tell people to speak up.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 32.
What kind of a dog?
She was a mix of a lab and a beagle. She looked like a lab on short legs, kind of long.
How long had you had it?
Since she was 3 months old.
How long is that?
September of '84.
What happened?
She developed leukemia, and it's rare in dogs. It's the same kind of leukemia that children get. And she slowly started to slow down. I guess I started to notice it about 8 months to a year before, but not really. I started thinking, well, she's getting older. She's 7. And I took her to the vet for her shots and said, she's kind of slowing down. And the vet said, well, she's 7 and stuff. And then I took her back and I said, she's really not doing well. And they said, well, it looks like she's pulling her head to one side. And because she's kind of shaped like a dachshund, they thought maybe she injured her back. And they said, oh, but the expense of x-rays, it's just expensive. Just give her an aspirin, she'll be fine. Well, that didn't work. And they said blood work is very expensive. And I look back on it now and I feel very guilty for not doing it, because if it were a child, you'd say, I don't care, just do it. So finally, I took her in because she just wasn't moving. And I took her in and I said, I want everything done. And we waited 24 hours and they said, well, the blood work isn't back yet. And finally the doctor called and said, there's cancer in the bone marrow. And they referred us to a wonderful place in Fountain Valley that did a great job, and she actually started getting better. And part of the reason was because I went down. We live a distance from there, but my husband went down once a day, and I went down twice a day to visit her and kept encouraging her, and she actually got to come home, and she got better, but finally it just spread to her brain, and my feeling was I would not let her suffer. If she started to suffer, I wouldn't go on with it, and she started having seizures
Jean,
quite frequently, and I mean it just tore your heart out.
Absolutely. And the thing you need to know is that even though you were a week or two, even a month or two behind the diagnosis, that there was not much they would have done for this I was going to say this child, this animal.
Yeah.
But I can see how you feel about this.
It's difficult now because I mean I come home and I expect to see her wagging her tail at the door, and there's just little things that remind me of her.
Well, what it is that a dog, a pet, is a benign presence in your life who always touches you at your most undefended place. When you're fighting with your husband over something really stupid and you're screaming at him, you get out of here and I don't care, and whoever writes the check and your mother's no good and this
That's
and that.
the one.
And the dog,
Your mother's no good. That's
right,
the one.
Right, and the dog comes in and you go, hello, sweetheart. In the middle of all that, you can be your best. And that's why dogs touch us so deeply, because when we bury a dog, we often bury sometimes the only escape hatch we have to our better, nobler self.
Yeah.
But you'll get over this.
I don't know. pretty hard.
It is hard. I mean, I buried a dog 2 years ago, and out in the vegetable garden, and boy, every time I go out there,
That's the hard part. Is I feel, I know it sounds stupid, but like she's lost. She's looking for us because she's very attached to us.
she's not lost. You're lost.
Yeah, that's true.
And you're projecting it onto the dog. After a while, you'll feel differently, and maybe you'll get another dog.
That a lot of people have said that, but my expectations are very high, and I don't think it would be fair to another dog. I expect this dog to be perfect.
Guess what? Every dog creates its own place in your heart. That's the wonderful thing about pets. They don't need an even chance. They create their own. We'll be back. David Viscott, and welcome back.
I felt so bad for Gene, David. My dog died last year. He was 21. And
21 years old?
21 years old. He had been all through my kids growing up, and they went off to college, and he stayed with me. It was devastating. And then I thought I couldn't get another dog, and about 6 months later, I got another dog, and we were driving home from the kennel where we picked him up, and I started crying in the car. I felt so guilty. I thought Joey would not like this dog. He would not be happy. But now a year has gone by since I got my new dogs. I guess my dog died 2 years ago, and I'm so happy with him. He gives me so much pleasure. He's not Joey, but he's his own guy. He's Elvis. He's wonderful.
We know Elvis.
Yeah.
Yes, he comes in the studio and nips our legs.
He's a West Highland White Terrier.
We know
He's
that.
great. We have Lou on line 6.
You want to say anything else about your dog before we go there?
No. He makes me happy.
I
That's what
got
you're
that.
talking about.
Go ahead.
We have Lou on line 6. He has had, she has had repeated plastic surgery trying to please her husband.
To please her husband.
Yeah.
Lou?
Hello?
Is this Lou?
Right. Yes.
Yes.
How are you, doctor?
I'm pretty good. What is going on?
Well, I've been married for 16 years. This is my second marriage. And I have 2 girls from the first one and 1 from the second one. And my husband is 4 years younger than me. So I always feel like I'm an old person for him. I was 30 years old when I got married with him. He was only 26. And we had a good time, but every 4 years we have a problem. Every single 4 years we decide to get divorced. Okay, so finally, but we always work it out. Okay, and we'll keep going. I keep trying to go ahead on my marriage, and he's a good guy. He brings the food, he pays everything, and besides that, I always work for myself to pay my needs.
What's the problem?
The problem is right now. You see, I've been since he doesn't communicate with me. He never tells me nothing nice. I always felt that he didn't like the way I was. For example, he used to tell me like something nice. Hi, wrinkle eyes, and finally I yell at him. Don't say that anymore. Don't tell me that because it hurts me. So he said, okay, I'm going to call you chicken legs. Okay, things like that. And then I went to get eye surgery because I said maybe I'll feel better now. I might look better.
Wait a second. Are you nuts or something? I mean, why? What's the matter with you?
I know.
What's the matter with you? Your husband's angry. I mean, if he attacks your weaknesses, the fact that he attacks your weaknesses means that he's angry at you. He's picking on you. You don't fix the problem by fixing up what he attacks. You fix the problem by understanding why he's so angry.
I know, but I don't know why he's so angry with me.
But don't go under the knife every time he
know. And the worst of it is that after I did it, he never said nothing nice. And when I did, he said, "Why did you do it? I liked it the way it was." I said, "You never told me that you liked it."
But he's right. He's right. You're a wacko, lady.
I know.
Stop!
Okay.
Why don't you talk to this man if he doesn't communicate? That's where you draw the line.
I've been working with him for
Wait.
years.
No, you've been working at it. You haven't done it. Come on. Lou, this is nuts. I mean, I've heard it before, but this one is right over the edge.
I'm glad you're telling me because I need somebody
Well,
to
I'm
tell
telling
me.
you, believe me, I'm
Yeah.
ready to go. I'm ready to go through the camera.
Yeah, I know.
Lou, if I said, you stupid buck-toothed woman, you're going to go to the dentist instead of saying, why are you calling me stupid? Don't you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. You're afraid that he's going to find another woman.
Yes, I am.
If he is, you can't change that.
I know.
No, don't go into your little thing. We're going to stop. What you've got to tell this guy is, wait a second, I don't like the way you treat me. Have you
I
ever?
already did.
And what does he say?
And he said, if you don't like it, then I'm going to leave. I said, go ahead. Go
And what
ahead.
does he do?
He's still here. He sleeps
Then
in
he's,
the right
wait a
now.
second, wait, don't talk at me. I don't like it. Talk with me.
Okay.
All right. So he doesn't do anything, right?
No, he doesn't.
So he
has-
just sits there. So you have an argument.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
All right. But if he says you got wrinkles, he's just attacking you. You go out and try to get the wrinkles fixed. What's that all about? Your face is not a dress that you go to a tailor to alter, you know?
I know. And
Well, don't go with an and.
I know. Let me tell you something.
Well, I don't want to hear it. Because I already have much more on the table than you can chew up and digest. No more surgery.
I know. You don't have everything. Believe me. It's been about a month that he's sleeping in the living room.
Why?
And-
Why?
Because I got mad at him, and I told him he's very jealous. He's the way he is. He's very jealous. He
Have
can-
you guys ever considered the possibility of sitting down with a marriage counselor?
Yes.
Have
I
you?
told him, and he told me, I don't like that. I don't want to hear about it, and I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't
And
want
this
you
is
to
and this
mention
is
it.
what you tell him. If you don't want to do it, I'm out of here. Because you can't live like this.
I know.
You know.
And
Wait. I know. You know, but no one does anything about it.
you're
Is
right.
is he in the house?
No, he went to work.
Would he talk to me?
I think he will.
Tomorrow morning, I want to talk to the two of you.
Yeah.
Because
Let me-
wait. Let's make an appointment for tomorrow morning.
One more thing, please.
Go ahead.
One more thing. Okay, he says that he's happy with the way I am. He's happy with my with sex. But he's living right now. He's sleeping in the living room. He just walks at night in my bed. He has sex with me, and he comes back to sleep in the living room again. That's been for almost a
What do you
month
mean?
now.
I mean, you say he goes into the bed to have sex like he goes to the refrigerator to have a soda.
Right.
Are you that easy?
No, but I
No.
no.
Then how?
No, I said
Hey,
no
Lou,
yesterday. I said no more. You're just using me. You're just using me.
You got
I'm
that
sick.
right.
I said I'm sick and tired of this.
Right.
I'm sick.
And
I
what?
don't want to take it anymore. I told him I've been doing everything for you. You don't appreciate what I do. Okay. So if you don't like it, go ahead. Go out. Look for somebody else and let me live happy.
All of this is empty threats and just screaming and yelling. It's very, very old. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk to the two of you. Stay on the line. We're going to give you a special number to call in. Let's make them an early appointment tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
Right off the bat.
Thank you. Doctor.
Okay. My goodness. What people, the truth is, you deserve what you tolerate. Who's next?
We have Nancy on line 12. She is a victim of self-abuse.
Nancy.
Yes,
What's the story? How old are you, first of all?
I'm 35.
What's self-abuse?
I hit myself and I cuss myself out when I get angry with myself.
And when do you get angry at yourself?
As of late, what's causing it is I really chose well in the marriage that I'm in right now. He's a very good man, and we have a newborn that's 3.5 months old, and I don't feel like I'm a good enough mother, and I get so frustrated sometimes feeling like I'm doing things wrong for the baby, that I'm spoiling him or that he's going to turn out like I did when I was a child. And
Well, what do you think the worst thing you do to the baby is?
I'm afraid that I'm not setting up good habits for him.
No, what do you think the worst thing you're doing is?
The worst thing,
The very worst thing.
spoiling him.
Wrong. The worst thing you're doing is hitting yourself and cussing yourself out, because the kid picks it up.
That's what I'm afraid of.
That's right. That's why you have to stop that.
That's what I'm afraid of, is that I'm being such a bad example.
You're being a terrible example.
I know.
All right? So the very thing you have to correct is the very thing you use to correct and punish yourself. Who punished you so badly?
I came from a very abusive family.
Who punished you?
I would say my half-sister.
How?
She was very verbally abusive toward me and held it against me
That?
that I used drugs when I was growing up, and I had made suicide attempts when I was growing up.
Oh, but I'm talking earlier than this, because using drugs and suicide attempts is an outgrowth of
She
something.
blamed me for being born.
Okay, and how much older than you was she?
10 years. She's older.
All right, so from the age of birth all the way through life,
Right.
you had a 10-year-old sister who must have been doing what to you?
Being verbally abusive.
I bet she went over to the crib and pinched you.
She tried to drown me once.
This kid, you know, I just have a whole vision of this kid doing awful little things to you.
Yeah, she was pretty bad, and my grandfather was bad too.
What did he do?
He was sexually abusive from
And-
the time, I believe, I can't remember exactly, but I think I must have been 6 or 7 until I was about 12 that he
Okay.
sexually abused me.
That's a long time to be sexually abused.
Yeah.
How clear are your memories?
I have pretty clear memories. I've been in therapy before.
Okay, when you have the memories of your grandfather abusing, what feeling do you get?
A sick feeling
Sick.
inside.
Sick that you're bad, or sick that it was done to you, or a combination?
Sick that I was bad.
Okay, and when you feel bad, that means you did something wrong. How did you relieve that bad feeling?
I was a violent kid.
Violent in what way?
Oh, I used to take my mother's butcher knives and go and carve the tree out back.
Uh-huh.
I was mean to animals.
Uh-huh.
I was real mean to animals.
Okay. So what you did with things that were abusive to other things,
Yes,
that only increased the feeling of being bad, though.
yes.
And what did you do with the increased feeling of being bad?
I would say in adult terms I was depressed. I was real depressed and I felt very lonely.
Okay, that's exactly right. Because expressing all of that anger as a child, after being very angrily hurt by an adult, only makes the anger that you're holding unbearable for you.
Yeah.
So you turn it around onto yourself.
That's how it feels when it happens now.
And what you're doing now is just a continuation of the depression. This
Yes.
is a depressive equivalent, what you're going through.
Yes,
You say you've had psychiatry
yes.
as recently as?
I'm going today to a new therapist that I hope is going to work for me. I haven't been for probably about a year and a half.
Okay. The thing you need to understand about this child is, unlike your other situations, the guilt you're feeling is over not being good enough,
Yeah,
which may be your perfectionist standards to compensate for the feeling that you're imperfect.
yeah,
And the feeling that you're having is also that you're afraid you're not doing enough for this child. These are concerns of a good person, not a bad person.
yeah.
That made you cry.
Yeah, it does.
See? Because that's the truth. The truth is you are a good person, but no one has reinforced that. And instead of delving into the whole question of being evil, which you have a natural penchant to do, you really have to assert the fact that only a good person would have made the call that you made this morning. That helps a lot. I can feel it.
It does help, but at the same time, I say, too, that my marriage is something that upsets me, too, because my husband is genuinely a good person.
And you deserve him.
I believe that. I feel that I chose.
Well, that's what
Yes.
you said. That's how you opened the call. I chose well this time, meaning I now believe I have worth.
And he tries to reinforce for me when I'm going through one of my episodes.
Correct, but what I'm hearing is that the episodes are merely times when you doubt your worth.
Yes.
Okay? So, here's the correction.
Okay.
Write down on a card the following words. They're not
Okay.
hard. I'm good, no matter what I think.
Okay.
Period. Because your mind will always play tricks on you, but you're always good.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you, Dr. Viscott.
I felt the edge just drop just at that moment.
It does feel better if I can just say those words to myself when I need
Why don't
them.
you say them to me so I can go out hearing them?
I'm good, no matter what I think.
You really believe it?
No.
Then say it as if you do.
I'm good, no matter what I think.
No. I'm good no matter what I think.
I'm good, no matter what I think.
Yeah. Believe it. It's true.
I will work on it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me hear from you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Welcome back, David Viscott. Interesting morning, a lot of variety, which is nice. Who's next?
We have a young girl, Crystal. She's 16 years old. She's on line 13. She's afraid to take a shower.
Crystal.
Yes?
How old are you, Crystal?
Okay. I'm 16.
What's the story here?
Well, it's not that I'm afraid to take a shower. It's that I have obsessive compulsive disorder. That's what I've been diagnosed with. And it comes out in different forms. And one form is where I can't get in the shower until I do everything perfect.
Okay, and what sort of things do you have to do?
I like the soap has to be perfect. The razor has to be clean. It has to be a fresh bar of soap. I have to wash my face perfect. If, some of the soap gets in my ear, then I have to start all over and just stuff like that. And I don't know.
All right. How long have you had this?
Well, I noticed I did things like this like when I was around the age of 10.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad said that he noticed I did it younger when I was like 4 or 5. But it's like within this year it's become extremely bad where it's gotten to the point where I can't even get in the shower.
Okay, what other things do you do?
When I was younger, it used to be where, like, I would eat my food, I would take a bite, I would chew 20 times on the left side, like, say, 10 times on the right, then I'd swallow. And then when I pour my drink, like, there had to be 3 ice cubes in the glass, and if I swallowed too fast or something, then I'd have to start all over and, like, do it all again.
Do you ever fight this?
Yeah, I tried to, like, get my mind off of it.
Wait a second. Do you ever specifically not put 3 ice cubes in the glass?
No, yeah, I've done that. And then, like, when I'm done drinking the drink, I just feel like I just can't live unless it's 3 ice cubes. I just can't go on.
What do 3 ice cubes mean, do you think?
I would just feel like
What do 3 ice cubes mean?
I don't know.
Well, you have to have some meaning to it.
I just feel more perfect, like when it's...
Why 3?
Because it looks good in the glass.
I think 3 looks lousy. I personally have 5.
I know, but our glasses are skinnier, and it's like...
I'm sorry. You should get thicker glasses.
I know.
What do you mean you know? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, it's just people ask me that.
Wait.
It's like, I don't know why.
Wait a second. You get a lot of attention for this, don't you?
Not really. Well, now, like recently.
All right. When did this start?
It kind of, like, goes off and on.
When does it get worse? What are the conditions that make it worse?
I don't know. When I just think about my problems.
What problem?
The problems in my past that...
Like?
Well, some doctors have said that it's because I was molested before.
Were you?
Yeah.
By?
Well, when I was 5, I was molested by my sister.
Uh-huh.
And then when I was 10, I was molested by this guy, like, around the corner.
Uh-huh.
But I think it has to do with what happened to me when my mom took me to another school.
Which was?
I was, like, totally just put down. They told me I wasn't human, that I wasn't a boy or a girl. I was just nothing. And to this day, I just feel like I'm not completely a girl. I just feel like, I have to be perfect. I'm real self-conscious.
All right, so you feel damaged.
Yeah.
All right. Let's stay with that, all right?
Okay.
Let's make the assumption that you were damaged.
Mm-hmm.
You were abused twice. and you went through a traumatic relocation, okay? All right, if you went through a traumatic relocation and all these things happened where you had a very low self-esteem, you were damaged, okay? Period. Let's deal with the damage.
Okay.
You want to be perfect. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
But you're damaged. It's like life is glassy. When you drop a glass, it breaks. You don't put it back together. It has cracks in it, right? Are you with me? All right. One of the things that makes you feel more damaged when you've been hurt is what happens to you inside after you've been hurt. Okay? Tell me what happened to the hurt that was caused by your sisters molesting you.
Well, see, it's hard. It's because, see, the molestation thing doesn't even really. I mean, it was very minor. It wasn't like they threatened to kill me, you know. And from what I remember, I don't remember much back then because. Okay, well, what happened was.
Did you ever express the hurt to your sister?
No, because I wasn't really hurt by it. I didn't think.
Who said that you were hurt then?
The doctors told me that that's why I'm doing this. And
Well, if you don't feel it, it doesn't make any difference what the doctor said. When you were molested by the guy when you were 10 around the corner, did you feel the hurt from that?
No,
How were you molested?
just touching and stuff.
Was that molested or was that just childhood experimentation?
No, well, the man was about 65, and
So it was a molestation.
yeah.
And what happened to your relationship with him? Was something done?
No, we moved, but
And when you moved, is that when you went to that other school?
yeah.
So here you were molested, and what ended up happening is you ended up being put into a situation where you felt punished. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I think I had been going to the school before that, though.
But when you were molested, and then you were put in a school situation where you felt abused by the other students. All right. So that's like as if you were punished when you had hurt and anger to express, and it wasn't expressed. And what happened is you were punished even more. You must have felt terribly out of control. Yes?
But it was when I was molested, it didn't really faze me because I knew that, you know, what he did was wrong and that it
I
happened.
understand, but in the school situation, which hurts the most, you felt out of control. And all of the obsessive compulsive things that you do are a way of getting in control of your anger over the hurt of being treated badly. That's what that means. Are you seeing someone now?
Not at this point. I'm switching to a different therapist now, and I'll probably see them sometime this month.
Well, the main thing to do, and let me give you just some stuff. You have to fight it.
You mean like just get in the shower? Okay.
Just get in the shower. So say, oh, the hell with it, and just get in the shower. You have to start doing that. You empower the obsessive-compulsive behavior, and you reinforce it by doing it. You have to break it at some point. You have to know it has no magic to make you feel better. The only magic it has is to make you feel worse. So you break the magic of making you feel worse by doing it anyhow. And even though you don't feel right, even though there aren't the right number of ice cubes in the glass, just go on. It doesn't make any difference. You have a life. You have a purpose here. That's what you're here to do. And this is in the way of you finding what's right for you, doing what's best for you, and finding a self-esteem that allows you to stand up to the world. Go against it, okay?
Okay.
Just start doing that. And keep a diary that you show to the new therapist. It'll make all the difference. Sometimes you just have to go against things that you think are crazy. When things are crazy and you keep on doing that, you reinforce it, and guess what? You become crazy. You shouldn't do that. We'll be right back. Welcome back. David Viscott here, and it's an interesting show today.
It is.
You know, I want to comment just briefly. You know, sometimes obsessive-compulsive disorders can be controlled by just going against it. And you really need to give it a shot. I mean, it sounds simplistic. I mean, there are always reasons for it, and usually the reason behind an obsessive-compulsive disorder is some hidden anger over a hurt that wasn't expressed, and the anger takes place in the mind, and what you try to do is undo the anger. Someone hurts you, you're angry at them, you don't express it, and you wish them dead, and you say, oh no, I can't wish them dead, so I wish, well, maybe the gas is on in their house. What does that mean? You wish them to be gassed. So you're continuously shutting on the gas because what you want to do is you want to be sure that your angry thought doesn't kill them. It's magical thinking, like your thinking makes a difference.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
We have Michael, and he feels like he's suffering from PMS. He's on line number 5.
A lot of us do, pal. I am Michael.
How you doing there?
I'm good. How old are you, Michael?
I'm 26.
And you're in a relationship.
I am in a relationship for a year.
And this is your first big relationship.
Will
you live
without reservations, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead. Talk to me about PMS.
Well, I feel so unworthy. Everybody has these big problems.
PMS for a guy is a
Well-
big problem, let me tell you.
Well, here's the situation. It started out being something that's a change in attitude, and you just kind of cover it up in the early stages of relationship. Because,
Cover it up? What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you just kind of go along with the flow.
Give me the change of attitude. What flow? The flow stops, pal, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
What happens?
And then later on...
Well, tell me what happens. Let me hear the experience that you go through.
Well, I guess it stems from her past because she didn't come from a good home life, and she's been treated rather badly since she's been out on the West Coast. And it just seems that all her fears come rushing at her.
Okay, you're indicating that she left home and the parents wanted to control her and that she's still attached to them out of her dependent needs, and her guilt makes her feel angry at herself, and she explodes at the person she loves most and trusts most, which is you, and she loses those controls at the time of her hormonal imbalance. Is that what you're saying?
True. Now, what compounds it is if she has some alcohol in her, then all of a sudden, then... and I'm no saint either. You know, I have my problem.
Wait. Alcohol?
Yes.
How much does she drink?
I wouldn't say too much. It just happens to be, late at night, a couple beers or whatever.
And when she drinks, what happens to her?
It just seems to amplify it.
Michael, she has a drinking problem.
Yes, she does.
Okay. She has an alcoholic drinking problem because she uses the alcohol to medicate bad feelings about her life. That's an alcoholic pattern. Whether she's an alcoholic right now, she has a pattern that is very dangerous because she drinks and all of a sudden it's like a different her appears. Hello?
You're right.
Okay. She's got an alcoholic drinking problem. And how often does she drink?
Heavily or just drink, period?
Maybe she's an alcoholic, huh?
Okay, well, here's the problem with that.
What's the problem with that? I don't have a problem with that. You got a problem with that?
I have a problem with that, yes.
Answer the question. How often does she drink heavily?
Heavily, not too often.
How often does she drink heavily?
Probably every couple weeks, maybe a month.
And when she drinks heavily, does she get drunk?
Yes.
So she gets drunk every about twice a month. Right?
Right.
Okay. Maybe a little more.
No.
No.
I don't know. I'm talking about falling down drunk either. Just,
Most drunks don't fall down.
Right.
They drive. And how often does she get drunk enough so that you're not talking to a person who's 100% there? Tell the truth, don't hide, and don't protect yourself. 2 or 3 times a week, right?
No.
No?
No.
When she's had a drink in her and she's angry at you, is there any reasoning with her?
No, not until it's a knockdown, drag out. Then at the end, then she calms down.
And how often does that happen?
A couple times a month.
Okay, she's got a severe drinking problem. Period. It's affecting her life. It's affecting you to the point that you're calling me. You're in denial. I mean, you're trying to minimize it. The truth is, you walk around talking to yourself a lot of the time, right, pal?
Right.
And you wonder what's going on.
I end up picking on her is what happens.
When she's sober the next morning and can listen to you, you go after her, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay. Welcome to the world of alcoholism. That's what this is. And that's how it feels.
So how do I present this to her without her feeling like I'm attacking her?
Well, the first thing you do is you join Al-Anon, in which you'll meet dozens of people like yourself. Do you want to go ahead with this relationship?
Yeah.
You do?
I'm just saying, yeah.
Do you want to go ahead with this relationship, yes or no?
I think so.
You think so. You're not sure, in other words.
No.
Okay. So, does she want to go ahead with this relationship?
Yes.
Okay.
That's my biggest fear, is that she becomes, I become not solely the part of her happiness, but that how her and I get along depends.
Finish the sentence you were starting with. The fear is that she becomes
dependent on me.
She's dependent period.
Yes, she is.
Okay, and she's going to become dependent on you. And she depends on you to clean up the emotional mess that she creates.
Right.
So she's an alcoholic, and you are enabling her. Boy, you didn't want to hear this morning, did you?
It's not what I thought was a problem, that's for sure.
Well, what else is it? I mean, buzz, there we are. Join Al-Anon. Tell her you called me. Tell her I said she's alcoholic. Tell her she needs to join AA.
I told her I was calling you for the PMS part. She said that's great, but I wasn't
PMS
expecting.
isn't the problem. Right? If the PMS disappeared, you'd still have the alcoholism, right?
Right.
Thank you. Get thee to Al-Anon. Get her to AA and tell her that's what I said. And if she wants to talk about it, I'd be pleased to discuss it with her.
Would you?
Sure.
Okay.
Stay on the line. One of our trustworthy screeners will take your name and give you a number for her to call in, but this is the problem.
Appreciate it, Dr. Viscott.
I want to ask one other question.
Yes.
Her parents drink?
No, they're
No.
extreme. They're Christian fanatics.
They're Christian alcoholics, pal.
Yeah.
So we don't know the answer to that. Okay?
Okay.
Stay on. One of our screeners will pick up the line and help you out on this. Do I shut this off? And then
Yeah,
Good.
cut that off.
Well, things aren't always the way you think they are, but, when a person drinks to become drunk on a regular basis, that's not drinking.
But I'm constantly amazed when someone calls in with a really specific problem, like his was, that his girlfriend had very bad PMS, and within what seems like about a minute, you turn that completely around to
Dottie,
another problem.
Hear what I'm saying. A person comes in with a symptom. A symptom can fit under a dozen different diagnoses. And all I'm trying to do is find out another symptom and another pattern and feel where the pattern fits best. PMS is a problem. But when alcoholism is in the picture, PMS is usually the excuse that the man feels more comfortable talking about because he was afraid of damaging her by telling the truth. Go ahead.
We have Ellen. She lost one son to AIDS recently, and now she's just found out that her other son is gay. She's very worried. She's on line 3, David.
Tammy?
Ellen.
I just heard from our director says we want to go to Tammy.
Oh, Tammy. Okay. Tammy is on line 10. She's pregnant, and her boyfriend wants her to have an abortion.
Tammy.
Yes,
Hi, Tammy. How old are you?
I'm 22.
What's going on?
I found out that I am almost 2 months pregnant, and I'm happy I'm pregnant. And my boyfriend is insisting on an abortion. The minute you mention anything, I've mentioned about doctor's appointments not being able to be made on certain dates to get the abortion going, such as he wants. He, gets upset, and he is really questioning.
He doesn't want the baby.
He doesn't want the baby, but yet he's giving me other signs that he's really confusing me.
How?
We've been together about 1.5 years now, off and on, and we have been using absolutely no protection. And it's like we make the initiative to go out and buy condoms, and then we don't use them, and it doesn't seem to bother him. But yet now, I kept saying to him, look, what if I get pregnant? What are we going to do? Don't you think we should be thinking about this?
And now you're pregnant.
And now I'm pregnant.
All right. So the mixed message is not that he wants a baby. The mixed message is that he doesn't want to use a condom.
Right.
All right. That's an entirely different message. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So, what does he say about your pregnancy?
He says to me that he's not ready.
Well, something is. He's not ready.
He's not ready.
He doesn't want to marry you.
Well, this is what I don't understand. He, from what I understand from his past, not just from his own words, but from others such as his family, and that he has never been a serious person as far as getting into a serious commitment with a girl.
Okay.
And he has made taken every step to be in a serious relationship with me.
I understand. Does he want to get married?
Not right now. He just bought me a ring, though, that was considered not an engagement ring, but a promise ring.
Whatever that means. I mean,
He said it was a promise ring to
I know.
be engaged someday,
Yeah,
but
right.
I don't.
It means nothing.
Okay.
All right. Promise rings don't mean anything. If it's a promise ring to get engaged, it's an engagement ring.
Right.
All right. It either is or it isn't. It's like being pregnant. Either you are or you're not.
Right.
And you are.
Correct.
What do you want to do with this baby?
I want to keep it.
And
Not to get back at him or anything like that. I feel like if he doesn't want to give me the support or be a part of this, then, I mean, that's something I guess I need to move on with. I mean,
all right. Then you have to find out how he is about that, because
he doesn't want to talk about anything else but having an abortion.
all right. Then you have to tell him that you feel differently about it, and if he doesn't want to deal with that, then the truth is that you have to find out now instead of wasting your time, and then you have to make a decision whether this is in your interest and the baby's best interest. We will be back following all these important messages. Welcome back. Let's just go.
Let's go. Let's go with Sharon. She's on line number 6. She's married, but she's having affairs with 2 women.
Sharon.
Yes,
That's not a happy Sharon.
I'm nervous.
Well,
I'm married and I'm having an affair with another woman, and I'm confused. I don't know if I'm gay.
is this your first affair with another woman?
Yes,
How old are you?
36. 36.
36. How long have you thought about having an affair with another woman?
A long time.
For a long time. Speak up, please.
A long time.
Yeah. And when you've thought about it, how old were you? First time you thought about it.
Oh, I was a teenager.
Well, did you have someone you had a crush on?
Not really, no.
So the thought just came into your head? When
I
you
don't know. I was just afraid of men. I was afraid of boys for a while. I've been molested from my father. And I was a virgin till of age of 21. I wouldn't let no one touch me. And I just started liking girls. I don't know. And now I'm married, and I just like sex with men, but I like sex with women too.
Okay. And how many women have you been with?
3 different women.
Over how long a period of time?
5 years.
And how long have you been married?
Oh, I got married when I was 21, 22.
So this is 10 years after you were married, you started to have affairs.
Uh-huh.
Did you seek out the affairs, or did people come to you?
No, I didn't. They start coming to me.
So you were giving off signals.
I don't know.
How else?
But
How else?
I haven't touched no one. Just looking.
Yeah, but looking is the signal, don't you know?
No. When they stare at you like that,
What do you
I've been stared at a lot, but
And
I
you-
didn't know.
But you looked back
Yeah.
because you had a fascination and, as they say in the trade, the hunger.
By looking at someone.
The hunger, you know what I
Oh.
mean? The yearning.
Mm.
Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Someone could take one look at Sharon and know that Sharon was interested, right?
I guess.
All right, think of the woman you're with right now, okay?
Uh-huh.
When you first met her, where were you?
At home. One of my friends' friends
Okay.
brought her over.
Okay. And do you remember the look?
Yes.
Tell me.
It just came to a conversation. We started talking about stuff like that.
Right into it, right?
Yeah.
And you knew, right?
Yeah.
So she was testing you in the conversation.
Yeah.
And you gave all the right answers.
I guess so.
What do you mean you guess so?
I did.
Say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why are you laughing?
Because I don't understand how come I'm still in love with men. What is this?
Because you're bisexual.
Oh, okay.
Well, what do you think it means?
Thought I was sick. I guess I am.
You guess you are, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Go.
So, I mean, you had to call me up to discover that. How many affairs would it take you to realize that?
I don't know.
Okay. So what is it? What does that feel like? That label?
It's a label, huh?
Well, yeah, I know, but how does it feel? Does that fit?
Yeah.
Does it feel comfortable?
Mhm.
Tell me how it feels.
It feels all right, but I don't know.
You were almost.
I thought it had came from, because it's been a long time that I didn't like men, and wasn't thinking about women. I thought it came from when I was molested by my father. It make me stop liking men.
Wait a second. Maybe, but you didn't stop liking men.
No, I didn't. But
All
it
right.
took a long time for me to let him touch me.
Okay, and that because that may be related to the abuse, but there are a lot of women who've been abused who didn't become lesbians.
That's true.
All right?
That's true.
So the wish to be with a woman sounds like it's been there for a long
Was
time.
I born like this?
I'm sorry?
Was I born like this?
That's a good question. And it's a much longer discussion than I'm going to get into with you. But, you know, maybe it's time you one of the things you might find helpful is to get down to the Gay and Lesbian Center and see if you can get into one of their groups and talk to some of the people, because understanding who you are sometimes is made clearer by understanding how other people are who are going through the same thing. It's amazing to call up and to hear it on the air. A lot of things happen on the air live that people reserve for this moment. It's interesting. You're part of a self-discovery process.
Yeah, it's very, very wonderful sometimes. We have Marie on line 14. She's in a relationship with 3 different men. She can't find fulfillment with just one guy.
Isn't there anyone out there who has a relationship with just one person? Marie, I've been waiting for your call all morning.
Oh, God.
How old are you, Marie?
23.
Say it loud and clear.
23 years old.
And you have 3 guys?
Yes, I do.
How come?
I don't know, all different ones.
Well, I know if there are 3 guys, they tend to be all different ones.
I know, but they all do different things for me.
Like what?
Okay, one, the ages vary in each one. I guess older ones for maturity. He goes out, we, spend money and whatever.
Okay.
The other one, he's like a middle age, and he's great in bed. And the other one is kind of my age, but he's...
Your TV is on, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Shut it off, please. Oh, shut the volume off.
Okay.
Still look at the face. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, now, good. The other one's great in bed, and what else does he do?
And he's just, like, basically my lover.
Lover.
Yeah.
And the younger one?
He's a friend, confidant.
He's a confidant.
Yeah.
Are you having sex with everybody?
Yeah.
And the older one is how old?
55.
55. That's the old one?
Yeah.
And the middle-aged one is what?
His age?
How old is the middle-aged?
Oh, he's 35.
That's middle-aged.
Well,
You're killing me this morning, darling. All I can have. If 35 is middle-aged, I'm gone.
I'm sorry.
All right. And the young one is how old?
He's 25.
25.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you do things in even numbers. That shows some consistency.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, so what am I supposed to tell you? This is good, this is bad?
No, I don't know. It's like really confusing. It's like I really want to break down and be with one guy.
Break down and be with one guy?
Yeah, but it's just like one make me mad, or I'll go to another one, and I don't know. It's just confusing.
Well, it's not confusing. It's the closeness with one guy that bugs you, right?
Yeah, because if he's around long enough, he gets on my nerves.
So this is a way of keeping from getting involved with any of them, right?
Somewhat, because I'm not really ready for it. I haven't sit down and really. There, I'll have things that I like, but it's not nothing I would want to just, have for permanent to be.
Well, you're 23 years old, and you're playing the field, and you're experimenting with the idea of committing to someone, and you're looking at all the features you want in one person. It's sad that you're trying to make a composite of all these three people, but happiness will depend upon you fully accepting yourself. What do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah.
A peer counselor.
You're a what?
A peer counselor.
What does that mean?
It's a program where students between the age of 14 and 16 that has jobs, and I'm like their supervisor to make sure they do their job right.
Okay. So you counsel people. What would you say to someone who came to you, who was like you?
Like that? Well, I don't know, because I'm in the same boat. That's why I'm calling you for advice.
Yeah, I think you've got to start limiting this down. Are these people sexually active outside of you?
One is married, and the other two, I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
So you don't know about whether they're safe, huh?
No, we all use condoms.
Okay. Condoms are only around 87% safe,
Yeah.
So you may, there's no such thing as safe sex. There's only safe people, right?
True.
Okay, so you have to be sure that you're safe. What do you tell a person like that? You say, it's time to let this discomfort reshape your life. The reason you have pain is to tell you when things are right and when things are wrong, when they're safe and when they're not safe, by your standards. Welcome back. Interesting how this program is always different and somehow always the same. It's a strange thing. I think that's what the magic is. We see ourselves in everyone, and yet we don't see ourselves in anyone at the same time.
I wanted to just mention Ellen, who I had said that we were going to talk to before. She had lost her son to AIDS and found out that her other son was gay. We lost her call somehow, and we're going to try to reach her, and she should try to reach us also. But now we have Mary on line 10. She's having an affair with her husband's father.
Mary.
Yes.
How old are you, Mary?
I'm 24.
Are you're having an affair with your husband's father?
Yes, it's been happening for 2 years now.
2 years. How did you get into this?
Well, first of all, last Christmas, I started noticing, 2 Christmases ago, I started noticing the way he would look at me, and it used to bother me at first. And he's come over during the middle of the day when my husband's at work, and he forced himself on me. And we've gotten together probably about 12 times now within those 2 years.
So that wasn't forced on you after that?
I'm sorry?
Interesting how you can't hear the most painful things. So after that, it wasn't forced on you?
It kind of was. It was kind of guilt and everything. I don't know if it was exactly forced, but I just recently, last year found out that I have ovarian cancer, and I've been going through all different therapy and stuff right now, so I've just recently been depressed, and my husband hasn't been here for me, and his father gives me money because I'm a housewife. So, and he doesn't want me working either. It's just basically a lot of depression, and his father's always here for me.
And you said the guilt. How does the guilt make you do this?
I'm not exactly sure. I feel that, I want to go out and get a job, and my husband won't let me work. And it's just guilt, I feel
Guilt
that,
over what?
well, I want to go out and help, support.
So you're under a
Yeah.
lot of financial stress, right?
Yeah, basically, and plus with the cancer and everything.
All right, and you want to help, but why won't your husband allow you to go out and work?
He doesn't like me to do things by myself. He doesn't even like me to go to the market by myself.
But so he's jealous.
I don't know.
He's jealous and insecure.
Maybe.
Do you know why I'm shaking my head, Mary?
No, I don't.
Can you see the look on my face?
Yeah.
What do you read in my face?
Oh, gosh, I don't know.
Yes, you do.
Maybe concern. I'm not exactly sure.
Your life is totally out of control,
I know.
and you have cancer,
Yes.
and you need to be supported. And now your father-in-law is playing the role of the person who's giving the most support, and you're having sex with him.
Yeah.
Okay, and totally undermining the whole structure of the family, lowering your self-esteem, causing your husband who knows what, because he's just so insecure and jealous that we don't know what state his reality is in. And this whole thing is just falling apart.
Yeah.
You need to do what's right for you. What's wrong for you is to let other people tell you what's right for you. That is what has gotten you into this place.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I sure do.
You
It's just her. I don't want to divorce my husband.
What's the difference? Why should you even care whether you divorce your husband?
Because I feel guilty because he supported me the past 2 years.
Why should that even count? I mean, why? How can you say that on the one hand and be having an affair with his father on the other? I mean, what's the point of staying married if you're having an affair with his father? I mean, come on, you've got to have some consistency. When I say that things are out of control, you don't have any standard for measuring because you're measuring yourself against what other people do to you or think about you. You've got to get a job. That's without question. You have to find a life of your own. You have to have the power to say no to things that are wrong for you. All you do now is, he gives me money, so I guess I have to go along with it. That sounds awful.
It is awful.
Then stop doing it.
Well,
No. Well, where did that well come from? Well means no. Stop doing what you feel is wrong.
But I love him. I don't know what to do.
You can only love one of them.
I do. I love my husband.
Then stop having sex with his father.
I know.
Stop having sex with his father. What's the problem? You love your husband. You don't want to divorce him. Stop having sex with his father. I'm on your side. I want for you what you want for you.
Yeah.
How much money does your father-in-law give you a month?
I don't know. He pays for my bills.
You should pay for your bills. What would your husband feel if he found out you were having sex with his father?
I don't know. He's hardly ever home.
Then why do you say you love him and don't want to divorce him?
Because he cares for me, I feel.
But you said he's not being supportive at this time.
I know.
You're all confused. You believe things that are not true. And the truth is that you're not getting the support you needed, you're being manipulated, and you're acting very weakly, and you need some help. Can we get her a referral of some kind? We're going to stay on the line. We're going to get you something that you really, really need. We'll be right back. Boy, will we be back. Once again, I have to make the comment that I don't invent these calls. I just feel them.
We have time for one last very short call. We have Vicki. She's on line 16. Her sister died 7 years ago.
Vicky,
Yes,
how old are you?
27,
Your sister died when?
7 years ago.
What was going on?
I was drinking and driving, and she was my passenger, and she was killed.
What do you do with this?
I don't know. That's why I'm calling you.
What have you gone through with that?
Oh, I've been in different therapies. I was in the hospital for 6 weeks in January.
This year?
Uh-huh.
Why?
Severe depression. They've got me on Prozac, but it's been 7 years, and I just thought you'd get past it, and you don't.
Well, you know, you have to get to a point of forgiveness, even though you feel you're not worthy. I know what you're going through. You don't feel you're worthy. You feel that you're responsible, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you still drink?
Very seldom, and if I do it at home.
What was your relationship with your sister?
Extremely close.
Uh-huh. So, can you think of anything more punitive to you than losing her?
The only thing I can think of that'd be worse than losing my sister would be losing one of my children,
Okay. So no one has suffered more than you.
except for her.
No one has suffered more than you. She's not suffering. I mean, you're the survivor, and you're the protagonist of the drama, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you get it from both ends at the same time. What are you doing with this?
Just try and go on with everyday life.
Okay, but I mean, maybe that's not enough.
I don't know what else to do.
I know what else to do. You have to become actively involved in some organization that deals with drunk driving.
Well, you know, I called it MAD like 6 years ago. And when I told them who I was and what had happened, they more or less just turned me away.
That doesn't make any difference. You are exactly who should be in that organization. No one feels the pain more than you do. No one has suffered more than you do, and no one needs to reach out into the society and get your message across any more than you do. That was the right move. Your heart dictated the correct steps to correct your life. That's what you have to do. You have to make a socially beneficial correction in her, dedicated to her name.
Well, I did do a drunk driving speech to a senior class in 1987, but that was the only thing that I've done.
And how did you feel after you did it?
I felt good that I got the response that I did, and that maybe one child will not have to go through what I went through.
Okay, but one speech is just the beginning. What this has to become is part of your life. You have to give the dedication to a life commitment to this kind of thing and put in 10, 15, 20 years of dedication to this cause. That will be the thing that will relieve this pain. It is not going to go away. The Prozac will do absolutely nothing. You are suffering the pain of guilt over a real action. Such things can only be fixed by another real action. Do you understand me?
Yeah, I shouldn't even be taking the Prozac then.
The I'm not saying that you're not depressed or that you weren't hospitalized, but the illness you have is the illness of an uncorrected act that you feel ruins your life and another person's life. Correct the act. Correct the act by dedicating your life. The things you cannot correct, sometimes you have to fix by reliving them and doing something good for other people. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hold on, Vicki.
Dottie.
Yes. You know, we've seen so many mothers talking who have lost children to drunk drivers. You see that often on television. It's so moving. Think of how this could impress especially young people if they could hear her talk about what her experience has been after.
The other thing is, people don't have any idea of the pain of the perpetrator. And if they could feel that, then they could say, oh my God, this is really a horrible, horrible thing. And what this woman is going through is, can you imagine killing your own sister and having that on you? To be able to bring that to other people over and over again in a dramatic way, to get other people to say, I am responsible, I can make a difference.
No, it's such a contribution if she can do it.